Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. We're back. We're back. I'm back again. A little bit more calm than from yesterday. Dr. Sloan, there she is. Hello, hello. Let's see. Let's see if we can get you on. View. There we can. Hey. I see y'all hopping on. Good morning. Did it go through? Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Uh,
Yes. Yeah. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Like people don't even can understand what this means. What this book, Unleash the Bullshit, what this book means. People have no idea. People have no idea. I got my
oh
coffee mug.
my gosh.
I know you were
Me
having
too.
mimosas yesterday, but yes, I got my cup. I'm ready. I am ready. I am enjoying all of this. I'm enjoying watching you just thrive and being proud in the moment of all that you've done, you know? You look great. How's it feel? How does it feel?
Man, it feels amazing. It's like I did it.
You did it. You did that.
Yes,
You now have receipts,
yes,
receipts to prove that you did that. Yes.
yes. I,
I
I feel
love it.
I feel really good. Think I'm still in shock because it's like this momentum of finally being able to put it out
Yeah.
there and share with the
Yeah.
world all of this behind the scenes and being quiet and to myself working on this and still showing up, but
People had
the
no idea.
product,
People had
right,
they had no
exactly.
idea what was going on behind the scenes. Like 2 years, like at least 2 years in the
At
making.
least,
Right? At least two
yes.
years. I think we started in May. I think it was May 2021. And it was like, you were like, I want to do a book. I'm like, okay, well, let's do a book. And it was like, okay, but I don't know how to do a book. But it's like, but if the passion's there, which I know it is with you, it was going to be easy. It was going to be easy. And you had great people to support you, from your mom, your husband, your kids, to your editor, your proof editor,
Yeah.
to me, to all of your family and, friends that are just like, we're behind you. We wanted to see this because we understood what it meant for you personally. So I think a lot of people want to know what that means to you. Like, what does this book mean to you personally? Because you've written another book,
Right.
with another group that was at a different time in your life. And I think this was the lead in to Joli Bae, to who you are now as Laura Rosemon, to unlearning everything, learning
Yeah.
things that we've been taught, the ideas. But what really inquiring minds want to know what what got you to this point where people are like, why would she do that? Some people are gonna be like, they're gonna be thrown off by the
The
title,
title.
which is fine because one of the top sellers right now is something along these lines that is actually even more in your face, but it was to catch them off guard. But why don't you tell people your passion behind this?
Yeah. Oh, you're taking me there, Dr. Sloan.
I
First
know
off, y'all, look, if you don't know, this is my mentor, another amazing supporter behind the scenes that has been there from day one of what this book is. When you open the chapter, she was a part of this whole chapter one
yeah,
in this
yeah,
book, right? So I have to let y'all know how amazing this woman is. She is the real deal, okay? Because she saw me through, and you've seen all the phases that I've gone through to get into this space of unlearning the bullshit and then finally being confident enough to put it out there
yes.
to share with the world about what that means about unlearning the bullshit. And so this book means, like you said, the first book was me not really knowing who I was in that moment, but feeling like I had to do something in that moment. I was showing up for other people.
Yeah.
And so this book, writing this out, was me shedding all the things I thought
Mm,
I was supposed to be, the life I thought I was supposed to be living and having. and putting it down on paper to say, I'm unlearning all of these things about myself that I
Right.
thought was supposed to be me, right? And I didn't like the way it felt. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to fit in this mold of what I thought my life was supposed to be.
Right.
And as I began to shed piece by piece, because it wasn't like I just stepped out of this costume all at once. It didn't happen like that. It was
It's a
chiseling away
process.
at things. It was a process.
Yeah.
And this book, you know, and I always talking about like breathing, journaling, affirmations. So this book was really like a journaling process now that I look back of
Mm.
me unlearning things and then reading back to myself like, wow, wow, I've let that go. Oh my gosh. And I feel it. I
Yes.
feel the difference. So the process of unlearning has been chiseling away, and it's all in this book. Um, to be in a space of feeling my most confident now
And you
to even talk about.
and you're glowing in it, like you're glowing through it, and it's like it's gonna bless so many people. And I use that word in very generously, in the sense of people have no idea what they're missing, as well as what the things that are blocking us, or the things like, and you say it like in chapter 2, like you start learning things as a little girl. We've talked about this before, and
Yeah.
I'll let some people in on our insight of like from the initial story of grief to having to expand yourself, and being unapologetic about wanting to be more than just the grief, and that storyline, and your sister being okay with it, and your mother being okay with it, and more than anything else, you being okay with moving on to being able to process through things that have happened to us tragically in our lives, from deaths and betrayal to friendships unraveling, to a lot of things. And as women, we so often, and I won't just say women, I'll say men as well, we are people pleasers by nature.
Yeah.
And we learned that system, specifically as African Americans, we learned that system a long, long time ago. And so therefore, it is trying to let go of that and
Yeah.
process that. But your passion behind it is different than most people's. And so in seeing that, and your journey from day one has been phenomenal to watch, and watch it to unfold. And then to finally see it in writing that's going to help someone, like, this is the quick version, you guys. Like, this book is so phenomenal. Like, I love chapter 3. I'm trusting the process.
Mm.
I'm trusting the process, and I'm trusting the process, and I'm trusting the process. And the process has been, you know, if you seek the best in every situation, it will come.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what has happened with this, and that everything wasn't roses. Everything didn't just like happen overnight or whatever else. And up until like the last minute, it literally has been a process. But I think one of the cool things about this book, if you guys haven't gotten this, get a copy of it. It's on Amazon now. Unlearn the Bullshit. And then it's a way to self-realization guide of like all the things that you thought you knew about yourself, about society, that has been imposed on you. Lora has taken steps and been very strategic about what to say to you, and thoughtful, and been drawn out over the past 2 years to write this phenomenal book that will help, I think, most women, most men, to get to that next level that they're looking for that authentic self. But one of the things that we did was, when you were designing the cover, and when
Yes.
people don't see the cover, they don't know the previous logo that you've had. If you want to maybe talk about that, because I think the image on the cover is huge, and what it
Yes.
means, and people know the backstory, they'll understand.
Yes. You know, it's funny you said that because I wanted to open up to the very beginning, the introduction. The first words are shut up already,
Yeah.
right? And it is a conversation that I'm having in my head, right?
Over and over again.
Over
Yeah.
and over and over again. And when you look at this book, it is the conversations we have in our head. It is that dialogue that we have going on in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be shattered,
Blown
and it's
apart.
got to be piece by piece let go
That's
of.
it.
Not to say, not to say beat yourself up because of some things that you're going through, or the space that you're in that you don't want to be in. It's piece by piece of letting things go. And the first thing is self-realization, self-awareness, self-reflection. It's all going back to self and knowing that within yourself in the first place, of what's happening. And so my logo it's a flower. If you haven't seen, it's a beautiful woman shaped all
She
nice and
looks almost like
sexy.
you,
Okay.
yes. Gorgeous woman
And then
that has her
this
mind and
flower.
yes.
So the whole idea, this is just a little bit deeper visual of unlearning the bullshit in order to get to what my logo looks like now, which is this beautiful blossomed flower,
Mm-hmm.
right? Beautiful mind. Joli Bae means beautiful mind. And in order to understand your beautiful mind, most times it's chaotic up in there, right? We don't even
Most
understand.
days. Yeah.
And so, in order to embrace that beautiful mind that we have and take our power back, take control of the things we're thinking, you got to unlearn the bullshit. You got to unlearn some things that have been holding you back. And that's what this book is about. It is 9 chapters of each pivotal moment. Let that shit go. Y'all know that's in there. Okay. You got to let some things go. That's holding you back, and that's been my journey. And I love that you brought up the process of the grief and the loss, because that's where this book starts off with. And at one point, I felt like my story had to stay in a space of
No.
loss and grief.
Mhm. No, and you made it very clear to me. I remember, and it was 2011, like when all of this happened, and you were trying to promote the other business. And I remember hearing you say, "There's got to be more, and I want more, and I deserve more." But you understood, at least in that moment, of like you were going through the process of that, and that even the people around you needed you to be in a certain place, but at
Yeah,
some point you outgrew that, you outgrew them, you outgrew that thought process, and then when you put it in their face, people are uncomfortable. Why do you think people are so uncomfortable with this, Laura? Because I mean, I'm very unapologetic. I live, that's a motto for me, live unapologetically who you are, who God has called you to be, what you're supposed to do in life, and it's more than just your occupation. But why do you think people are so uncomfortable in unlearning stuff?
I think it's hardwired programming.
Mm,
I think
mm,
when you haven't had time to be with yourself and you're always focused on things outside yourself, you have no idea how stuck you are in a space that you don't even belong. You just don't like it. It is what it is. I talk
right.
about that in the book. It just is what it is. It's not what it is. It's what you make it.
I mean, but no,
You
that's a great point, because we learn that and we hear that over and over again. And so part of you being an affirmation coach is specifically affirming the things that you want and
Yeah,
trying to manifest or make real, or that realization of the things that you say, go forward. And so many people, we're going to be churchy. Some of folks are going to be churchy, of like, believe, faith is what the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Self-realization is the same thing, of like, it's the evidence of what you can't see yet, but
right.
you know you can't have. And so we're speaking the same language, people. A lot of people don't realize that, of like, okay, this is not something for me because, God is in it. No, God is in this. God is in this.
Yeah,
He wants you to love yourself. He wants you to live the best life. He wants you to feel all of the things that he would have for you, or she would have for you, or the universe or cosmos, or whatever you want to call it. But for most people, that makes them
yeah.
uncomfortable because it's something they have learned along the way. And that includes, let's get real, religion,
Mm-hmm.
things in school,
Mm,
things from family generations past, occupational, societal norms, all of that has become so, like you said, ingrained. We forget and we just keep going with the flow,
yeah,
go with the flow. But the flow is actually so wrong
right.
for us so many times.
That's love,
And you
right?
talk about that. You talk about
I
that. And
do.
that's what I love, in the sense of like you hit on everything that we're thinking, but we don't say, including mindful to mindless. Talk about
Yes.
that in chapter 4.
Mindful to mindless. A lot of times our mind is full of bullshit. That's why I wrote it, Unlearn the Bullshit. And so you have to empty yourself. And that goes
Mm,
back to having a moment with yourself. I talk about meditation all the time, and how sometimes a lot of people are like, well, I don't meditate because that was me, because my mind, it just doesn't allow me to sit still.
mm.
It's always over here, it's over there. So it's just, I can get maybe about a good minute in and it's not. Well, that is a sure sign that you need to sit with yourself some more, because your mind is rambling and you obviously don't have control over it.
But
right?
that doesn't mean a timeout in the corner, because we
No,
hear that as a bad thing
no,
sometimes. Yeah.
absolutely not. It's
Hmm.
just it's a self-reflection moment. It's a moment to say, oh my God, I never actually listened to what I'm saying to myself. I never actually listened to the voices that are happening and actually um, realize how it makes me feel.
Hmm.
Okay, phone. No, how it makes me feel and how it makes me react and how it makes me move in my next steps. So it's like you need to, how do they say it? You can't pour from an empty cup, right? But you
Who
also
you telling?
can't
Who
pour
are
from
you
a cup full
telling?
of bullshit either,
That's right.
right?
That's
Stop
right.
pouring out the bullshit and empty yourself from all of those things and then fuel yourself up with the things that really matter most to you. And I think we're getting the way society and how everything is so fast paced and it's in your face, you get full of all of what you think is this perfect living your best life. And to me, living my best life lately has been me to myself in my house in a quiet space, just relaxing. Like I'm just enjoying this. I don't need to be out doing X, Y, and Z, feeling like FOMO. I'm missing out on something because I like this peace and space in my time right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think sometimes we get lost into what it looks like and what you think you're supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
No, you need to pour out that bullshit. All right. It's not serving you. It's not making you feel
Hmm.
good. It's not empowering you. And then refuel yourself with time by yourself.
That's
Get to
it.
know yourself,
Hmm.
right? Because a lot of
Hmm.
times you ask somebody, well, what is it that makes you happy? And some people can't even answer that. What brings you joy? What do you like to
Right.
do? You start naming what you like to do with other people,
Right.
right? Where
Hmm.
you like to be with other
Hmm.
people. No, for yourself. So
What's
that's
for
what
yourself?
mindful to mind less is. It's mind less about the trivial shit that's not empowering you. Mind
Yeah.
less about that and
You
focus on all the things that are.
you have like on your Instagram, it's just like gorgeous. I love how you've done this basically unfolding of not just a book, but also of yourself. And a lot of people would be like, well, that's not a conservative image for an author, da 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 da, stuff. Let me tell you, this woman is a model, number one. Okay. She's a model. She's drop dead gorgeous. And we live so many times in the effort of trying to please people and making other people comfortable. Why did you choose this image?
Oh, because I have always been a free spirit. Let me tell you, I've always liked to wear. I mean, I was in fashion shows with just body paint, just
Come on.
body literally and
Oh,
paint. Okay.
yes.
And then I lost a sense of who I was, and I was trying to find this role of speaking on, like you said, the loss, the grief, the suicide prevention, the mental health, trying to fit into this
Hmm.
world of I need to be this professional. I need to look, a certain way so people will take me seriously. um I had to check that shit again because I'm like, that ain't even me. It don't even feel right. I don't even know what this is. And so me and my professionalism is putting on a suit with my dang on bustier on, like with a little bra top.
Correct.
That's just who I am. And there was also this post that I was creating, and I've taken amazing pictures. Shout out to High Key Photography for getting me right on the back of the
She
book and
did. Yes,
inside the book.
she did. Yes, she did. She did
Yes,
that.
that is my go-to brand content creator. Um, but I chose this because we were creating a post, and when, like you said, you think of an author, you have your arms folded, you have your suit, you look professional, and it was like, we put this one in, or do we put this one in where I'm standing there similar to this, and the jacket's open, and the inside, my stomach is out. I'm like, you know what? That's not me. That's who people want me to be on LinkedIn. That ain't me. If you can't appreciate me to show up on your stage with all of my sex appeal and confidence as a woman, then I'm probably not the person that needs to be showing up for you, because then that means I'm not showing up as my true authentic self. So that's why I chose to put this on the back, because you're either going to appreciate me or not. And I don't want you buying something that you're just buying into because of what you think how I'm supposed to be. And then you read something and you're like, oh my gosh. No, you're going to get it from straight off the jump. This is who I am. And I love
I,
that.
I love it.
So
And that's part of your chapter 6, alignment. You say if it don't
alignment.
fit, don't force it. If it doesn't
Exactly.
feel right, don't go with it. If it doesn't flow, F it. You're in the season of alignment, and there's no overthinking when the universe is making moves through you.
Mm,
And so that to
mm.
me is not just this book, it's the back cover. It's who you are. It's who you're speaking to. The people that are going to be bold enough And again, this audience, the people that are going to be buying this book and wanting this book, and you need this book, are the women and men that are trying to go to that next level of there's got to be more of to life at this point of just day in day out, the humdrum of the norm or whatever else. And it's not even about making bold moves, it's the self-realization
Yeah.
of who you are, what you contribute to yourself, your life, your family, and what, you know, that legacy of what you're trying to leave later on. I believe that as well. So for you right now, you talk about trusting the process.
Yeah.
And so how would you tell someone to trust the process? Trusting the process.
And it's not always easy, right? It's simple because most things that are out of our control, we dwell on and we stress about and we try to fix things that we just cannot fix. Trusting the process is realizing that if you can't fix it, why are we stressing? Why are we tripping? Why are we
Mm,
anxious about it? Right? Trusting the process, at the end of the day, it's always worked out before,
mm,
right? And the
mhm.
challenges that we go through, I talk about this in the book as well, it's not meant to break you, right? It's
But to build
meant to
them.
grow you.
Yeah.
It's meant
Hmm.
to strengthen you. It's meant to make you more wiser. And a lot of times you stunt your growth because you're wanting to fix a problem that's not your problem to fix.
Ooh,
This is not your
that's
problem
good.
to fix. This is the universe is working through us. I talk about that God spark within you. Yeah, my book says unlearn the bullshit. I'm not cursing at you. It's just a cuss word. It's a tension grabber.
Yes.
It's BS, the old belief system,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But I'm still talking about the God spark that's flowing through
Hmm.
you. And sometimes you get disconnected from that. And when you get disconnected is when you try to start doing things that are not meant for you to be doing. It's already set up. You're supposed to be trusting and working through it,
Right.
right? It's
Right.
a process that you're supposed to be molded. And so I look at it as, okay, I'm being molded for something else. You know, why would I sit and feel defeated if I'm still going to be living here in a defeated space? I might as well start finding an optimistic point of view to look at this.
Absolutely.
And then that's when you start opening up and receiving even more signs and signals from the universe guiding you which way you're supposed to
Yeah.
go. You block that whenever you're so blinded by what you want or what you think you
Hmm.
want. I know you've seen that in the stands where I think it's at like a baseball game where it's like the person has a small teddy bear and then the guy comes snatches the teddy bear and it's like and you're thinking, oh my god, you took my teddy bear, and then all of a sudden he comes back with this bigger
Yeah.
huge teddy
Yeah.
bear, and it's
Yeah.
like if you trust the process, it's something so much more magnificent
Mhm.
waiting for you to just open up yourself to.
Yay. You got some fans joining on today. So we're talking about my protege, my mentee. She wrote this fabulous book called Unlearn the Bullshit, and it is basically a self-realization guide. So Laura, tell them where they can find your new book.
You can find this book on Amazon,
Amazon.
and you can find it on Amazon. The link is in my bio. You can click that link. It's Small Business Saturday. If you're going to go out and go shopping on some things, why not support this young, fine, hot, amazing, bold, confident Black author that is here to give you some guidance, some nuggets. And look, I'm not telling you everything. I talk about this in the beginning of the book too. It's a disclaimer in there. Take what you need, discard the rest. At the end of the day, this is a seed being planted for your own self-realization. This is not me telling you exactly what you need to do. This is things that is bringing
Right.
awareness to you. It's a
I
seed being
I
planted.
I think for you, you have a lot of different fans. I see some of my folks jumping on, and Anesthesia God, hey, and I see John. I see a whole bunch of people on, and these are some medical people as well. So you've got different genres of people that are jumping in and saying, "Why do I need to unlearn the bullshit?" Like even in medicine, you know, I wrote my book, The Rules of
Yeah.
Medicine. It was like there's things that are out there that are said and done and sort of expected even professionally from people, but to go this route to unlearn it and unthink it and to do something different takes you to another level that makes people uncomfortable. So, what about those people that you're going to make uncomfortable with this book, and if they want to know how to deal with their audience or their people? A lot of people that are on here, they don't care. I know specifically, Anesthesia God doesn't care. You know, John, I think John, and as well as even your photographer, they don't care because we're about taking it to the next level and being the example in society today, specifically on like social media and stuff, that we have a voice now that is different. So if you're going to make people uncomfortable, how do you tell them to deal with making other people uncomfortable?
Well, by the time you finish reading my book, you won't care. You know, you won't care. Let me tell you, because you will start realizing how much you hold yourself back from being your raw, genuine, authentic self. I think it's being okay with knowing that some people will fall
Yeah,
off. I think it's
that's good.
okay with knowing the process of some people will fall off.
Let him go.
Um,
Let him go.
it's letting
Hmm.
go, and that's okay. And it does hurt sometimes, and that's okay.
And that's
All
okay.
right,
Hmm.
and that's okay. We can't let people. Most of the time, it's most of the time. Let me go back to unlearn the bullshit. It's in your head. Okay, it's all in your head. We're sitting here thinking about what other people think about us, and everyone's walking around in their own world,
Yeah.
right? So I think the best way for you to not give a shit, okay, is to realize everybody's walking around with their own story in their
Hmm.
head. So they're going to receive you with whatever narrative they have going on anyway, at the end of
Anyway,
the day.
yeah, that's
Right?
true.
So it doesn't
That's true.
matter what you say, how you show up, whatever their own story is about the way they perceive the world is going to reflect on you no matter what you say at the end of the
And
day.
most of the time, you're not going to change people's
You're
perception of you. It is what it
not,
is. The bias, the sexism, ageism, racism, whatever that is, you're not going to change them, but you can change yourself
you
with
can change
learning
yourself.
this. One of the last chapters here is stop being so hard on yourself.
Ooh.
So it's like you're right where you're supposed to be. So before we even close out this session today, like the people that have jumped on or whatever, everyone is here for a reason. Everyone is doing their own thing in life for a reason. And what we're hoping is that you're empowering yourself and others as well. But in learning,
Mm,
you're here for a reason. You're supposed to be doing this and telling people to stop being so hard on themselves. How would you close this out? And advice that you would give them, especially going into 2024 into
mm, mm.
unlearning the bullshit. How do you stop being so hard on yourself?
You know, you have to realize how hard you're being on yourself in the first place. It
Mm,
goes back to self-awareness. There's no change if you don't see it within yourself first. If you don't see how much the story that you're telling yourself.
yeah.
And that was how we start this book off to how we end it. The story I was telling myself was not empowering me. I was
Mm,
being so hard on myself with who I thought I was supposed to be and show up for everybody else. And so it's recognizing the story you're telling yourself and give yourself grace because it is a process that you have to trust. And
I
once
love
you
it.
realize that, why am I beating myself up? Why at the end of the day am I beating myself up? It's not helping.
You're right. You're right.
So I think the biggest, hugest thing to take is that be aware. Have some time with yourself to realize how hard you're being on yourself because it's not helping, right? Stop being so hard on yourself. Just stop being so hard on yourself. Look, one of the things is, like I said, I got my little, suit jacket on, my little bustier, whatever, that I like to talk about is strip yourself down. I started off one of the, another event that I did, and I said, first of all, I'm going to strip y'all down, take it all off,
Ooh.
right? I'm stripping you down right now. We just butt ass naked right now, okay? strip, strip it all down to just being in a space of
Yeah.
breathing. And at the end of the day, when we shut off all of the distractions
Mm-hmm.
and everyone outside of ourselves, when we shut all of that off at the end of the day, that is where we find peace of mind,
Mm-hmm.
just in a space of just being. And
Mm,
this is how you go back into realizing it's not really that bad. Let me
mm.
stop being so hard on myself. It's not really that bad. If I sit here with myself a little longer, I am pretty fucking phenomenal. Own that. Just
Own
own
that.
that.
Own
You
that.
know,
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
that.
Don't shadow down. I love that because so many people do, and life teaches us, and society teaches us, specifically as women, to shadow down. And so, I just want to commend you on your new book, Unlearn the Bullshit, a self-realization guide by Lora Rosemon. She is the meditation coach. She is the affirmation coach. She is the woman that is going to teach you how to love yourself again and really appreciating life in a different perspective. Is it going to be comfortable? No. Is it going to be worth it? you better believe it. So, Laura,
Absolutely.
where else can they find you? On I know we have you on Instagram, but where else can they
Yeah.
find you?
Check me out on YouTube. That's where I have a lot of my long form videos of teaching and sharing um, what I'm talking about here, where you can actually sit with me and we go through different steps of, your morning habits or unlearning or stop being so hard on yourself. So I have a lot of long form videos on YouTube. If you're not on my YouTube channel there, I also have a lot of behind the scenes preparing for this book, so you can go into the life of who I am to see this is just me, and I love it.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
if I get it all the time. How did you get into a space of being like this right here? Go back to my old YouTube videos, and you'll be like, oh my God, she is a completely different person from day one
Mhm.
on the old videos, because I was showing up as someone who I thought I was supposed to be, but I was still showing up breaking barriers. I was still showing up every day like there's got to be more. Not that I knew I was going to be in this space here initially, but then it started revealing
Yeah,
itself to me as
yeah,
I continued,
yeah,
right? It
yeah.
started revealing itself to me. So check out my YouTube channel as well. That's one of my main factors there. And make sure that you go get this book, okay? It's on Amazon right
Amazon.
now. The link is in the bio. Today is the day to get the book. Don't wait until tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Don't put this off, okay? The book will be released. The ebook will be released Christmas Day. You want to pre-order this because as we go into the new year, I have some amazing things that we're going to go and flow through this book.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to flow through this book together. So you're going to want to have this in your hand when we do that. I guarantee.
I love you. You know, I put my time, energy, and effort behind people I believe in, and this is something I have helped make sure it has gotten out there because I believe in it and I believe in you. So congratulations, my beautiful friend. You did that.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers. Yes.
Woo! You guys get the book. Help her become a bestseller on Amazon. If you can buy it over the weekend, that would be great. And let her make that top list of on Amazon as one of the new bestsellers in meditation and affirmations. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dr. Sloan.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
coming on. She is the
Yes.
truth, let me tell you.
You
Yes.
did
Yes.
that. So glad. Yay. All right. I
All
love you.
right.
Have a good day.
Love you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love it. I told y'all Dr. Sloan is the truth. My mentor, mentored by the best, the GOAT. Let me tell you, this book needs to get in your hands if you don't have it already. I'm super excited. Once you get your book, make sure that you tag me so I can show the love. We're going for Amazon bestseller. Help me do it. Let's do it. It's Small Business Saturday. It's the time to do it today. Don't wait. Matter of fact, buy one for your friend, buy one for those that you love. This book is the truth. Unlearn the bullshit. Okay. Don't let the title scare you, right? Let it spark something inside of you. All right. Let it spark something inside of you to say, well, you know what? Let me see this bullshit that she's talking about. We all have it in our head sometimes. Trust me. I'm just being real with it. So I love y'all. I'm hopping off of here to enjoy the rest of my Saturday. Thank you for tuning in. All right.